up, YouTube? What's up? What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up, fan base? If you new, welcome. If you're returning, hit that like, hit that love, hit that share, hit that button. Join me over here on fan base. Yes, yes, yes. We are broadcasting live on YouTube and fan base in the audio room doing a watch party now. And these last couple of days, has been a doozy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to what do you love about fan base? This is always an informational live for all of those who come in about fan base, learn more about fan base, find out what's the goings on, have any of your questions answered from your favorite fan base ambassador. Okay, you don't know what we'll be doing on this show, anywhere from doing replays to interviews to whatever, but it's gonna be all about fan base questions, new users, and much more. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure that you definitely download Fanbase. The first link to Fanbase is the first link in the chat. Also, my link tree and to invest in Fanbase will be going over into it. But these last couple of weeks and these last couple of days has been some doozies. Yes, your girl's been pulling back, conserving her energy, and putting things together in one show. That's right. Consolidating. I've doing this for 11 years. I'm learning to pull things together, and voila. For those new fan base, you can import your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, make money. No restrictions, free to download, and a minimum to cash out. And fan base, download fan base, and the minimum to cash out fab files. Fan base, if you're watching this before 12 o'clock, and you drop something in the chat, tell me what you need to cash out. We cashing people out, cashing people out to hit that 5, you hit that subscribe, hit that 5 for that chance to win 5,000 loves. Also, if you subscribe on the spot today, that'll be 100 loves. Also, if you download Fanbase right now, I'm giving 100 loves just for you downloading Fanbase right now, downloading Fanbase and following me on Fanbase. Okay, like I said, we Fanbase. The reason, what do I love about Fanbase? What do I love about Fanbase? Fanbase is cool. You know what I'm saying? We could do a whole host of activities. Okay, we can have photos. We can have short form videos, flicks. You can import your TikTok, Instagram. You have long form videos up to 2 hours from the computer. We have audio camps. That's right. We have audio camps. And I'm streaming live on Fanbase as is. And for those who knew, for me, I've been on YouTube for 11 years, and guess how many subscribers I have over here? Matter of fact, I have 11 subscribe. I have 10 subscribers over here on Fanbase. That's right, 10 subscribers here on Fanbase as we speak. And yes. As of now, this will be my payout for tomorrow. That's right, payout for tomorrow. So definitely, definitely, that's what I love about fan base, right? And another thing I love about fan base. Okay, let's get into it. What I love about fan base is you can have exclusive content, right? You can have exclusive content. Boom, bam. Okay, you have exclusive content, have subscriber content, and it's free to download and it's free to use. We get loves. Loves are worth a half a penny. Let's go ahead and let's go. Okay.
It's that time. That's right. I see it, so I know you see it. We just crossed $12.8 million raised for Fanbase on StartEdge. Thank you. That puts us one step closer to our $17 million goal. Let me put that in perspective. The average investment amount in Fanbase is $1,000. That means if 4,200 people invest $1,000 in Fanbase, the race is closed. It's over. We reach our goal. That is the most important part. And we just launched a podcast called Invested, where we talk about investing in Fanbase and investing in the creator and the social economy. If you come and invest right now, I will send you a link to invest in Fanbase right now. The minimum to invest is $399, but the average investment size is $1,000. So we're trying to close this round. So shout out to all the new investors, and shout out to those of you who will be joining us very, very soon. Welcome to Fanbase.
Let's go. Let's get it. So that is that. And what else? Your girl be over here. See, when y'all don't see me, I be putting in that work. When y'all don't see me, this is where I'll be. This is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? You see how deep I am over here. I love it over here on YouTube, but don't get it twisted. I be doing my thing over here. Definitely. Everybody, this is Miss Queen Mo in the building. Yes, I'm in the fan base streets, and you know what time it is. We have movies, TV nights, game nights, also morning wellness check, Monday through Friday, Saturday movie nights at 9, women's groups every Wednesday at 9. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win 1,000 loves. That's right, your girl is dropping them loves in that heart. And be sure to stay tuned to have your notifications on, because I'm definitely in the streets. What's up, everybody? This is Miss Queen Mo in the building. Yes, I'm in the fan base streets, and you know what time it is. We have movies, TV nights, game nights, also morning wellness check, Monday through Friday, Saturday movie nights at 9, women's group every Wednesday at 9. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win 1,000 loves. That's right, your girl is dropping them loves in that heart. And be sure to stay tuned to have your notifications on. We definitely get paid out, okay? At 5 o'clock, we will. These is the audio rooms over here. You can publicly listen and watch on Fanbase, okay? Listen and watch on Fanbase, okay? You definitely could do that, okay? Also, let's see. I am on the schedule, and yes, we getting ready to go over that. Oh, and I am a fan-based investor, right? So this is the audio room we'll be going to at 5 o'clock. But we gotta watch what's hot off the presses. Yes, we'll be going to our Tech Talk CTO. But your girl is in the building Monday through Friday mornings from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Fanbase is a social media app where you can import your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, make money, no restrictions, free to download. We are getting ready to go over this all the live audio rooms where you can listen to audio discussions from the web. And everything is linked in the chat. Okay, linked in the chat. Let's go over it again. You know what's this fan base. Let's do this. I am a fan base ambassador and fan base community leader. Before we even leave that, let's get to it, okay? Let's get to it. Okay. Let's get to it. I am a fan base ambassador, fan base community leader, fan base investor. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. YouTube suppresses people that's doing great things, and I'm doing great things. I've been on YouTube for 11 years. But let's go over to our new podcast that just dropped. Okay. You have subscribers, and why do I got a crown? I am a fan base ambassador and fan base community leader, and I am the queen of queens. I am me. That is my name, Queen Mo. I'm gonna continue on because I know how the comments get. So let's go on here and go over to our new podcast that just dropped to tell y'all what's going on about Fanbase and why y'all should invest in Fanbase. I'm not even gonna pay attention. I'm gonna stop paying attention to the comments because I know how y'all get. I've been doing this 11 years.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of Invested, a limited podcast series hosted by me, Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. This show gives
I've been
you
doing this
front-row
way
access
too
to the
long.
evolution of
These
the creator
comments.
economy and our active equity crowdfund currently available on Start Engine. Each week, we'll unpack the latest news, trends, and shifts in the creator monetization and platform ownership with special guests who are helping shape the future of this space. We'll spotlight how creators are earning real money, building equity, and transforming the way content creators power culture. So whether you're a creator, investor, or just curious about where social media is headed, Invested gives you the knowledge and access to get ahead. Now, normally, I'd be joined by our CTO, Ramiro Canavas, but he is out on vacation this week, having fun. So filling in for him today is someone I'm proud to welcome, Mr. Justin Dawkins, who is not only a longtime advocate for creators, but also, full disclosure, an investor in Fanbase. And he won't be the only one. We'll be bringing other investors and voices throughout the season to share real insight and real experience. I'm going to introduce Justin for everybody that doesn't know. Justin Dawkins is a 20-year entrepreneur and investor with a deep focus on capital access and supply chain innovation. As an active investor and early supporter of Fanbase, Justin brings 2 decades of experience helping founders scale across multiple industries. He's also building technology solutions in the film and television space, bridging the gap between content and infrastructure and the entertainment economy.
I'm used to people not
Justin,
listening and paying attention to me.
I'm just happy to be here. It's hot outside, so
Man,
thanks for the conditioning.
this is like, so everybody know we're in Atlanta, Georgia. It's absolutely hot outside today because nobody's on the street. It's like 95 degrees. Probably the heat index is 100, but I just wanted to say that. So the purpose of this podcast is really to talk about a few things, but more importantly, our raise on Start Engine, our equity crowdfund that we're currently raising. We're raising $17 million in a Regulation A equity crowdfund on Start Engine. So right now, you yourself can go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. They get you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. That's important because this is not a GoFundMe. This is not a donation. This is not a Kickstarter. This is actually equity in Fanbase. So if you want to, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest right now. I start this show off every week. Me and Ramiro usually talk about like the why this is so important, but for me, I'm going to hand that off to you because this is going to be a conversation between you and I back and forth, and we're just going to talk. But we're going to get into some other creator economy subjects and things that are going on right now in pop culture when it comes to the creator economy. So why is investing in Fanbase this moment important?
Well, I think the reason investing in Fanbase is so important right now is because of what's happening in the broader economy, the broader capital access market, and just in the broader media entertainment space. When we think about Hollywood, I talk to people and think Hollywood makes movies.
Yeah.
Hollywood doesn't make movies; it makes stars. And when I think about the potential of Fanbase and owning the infrastructure of
This live is all about
media
informing
content,
y'all
I
what's
think about
going on with
missed
Fanbase.
opportunities in the past. You
I am a
brought up examples
Fanbase
in the past
investor and
around
community leader
what
and
would have
investor.
happened if we had IP around the turntable when hip hop was emerging.
Yeah.
What would have happened if we had IP around streaming when streaming was coming online with Napster and eventually Netflix and YouTube? What would it look like if we actually owned pieces of the piping?
Because when I say stuff, people look at me. I've been over here for 11
it's an
years.
incredibly important time.
So this goes to
in the
show you the
broader
power
economy,
of us
in
sticking
the
together.
global markets, being able to have more than one avenue to stream your content, make money through your content, I think has become more and more important going forward. So it's an important time to pay attention to those that are, yes, the incumbents, the big players, but also those that are emerging, coming up with new ideas, new ways to monetize an audience, or just bring attention and light to the things that are important going on in the world.
Yeah, so for those that may not know what this is about, if you're a first-time listener to this podcast or you're new to the platform, Fanbase is a social media platform that I created that allows you to have followers for free, like all the other social platforms, but also simultaneously have subscribers that you can monetize, and also have micro tipping through something we call love. So you can like on Fanbase and you can love on Fanbase, right? And the reason why I did this is because I saw inequity in the Black community. It's how we contribute so much to culture and so much to technology, but we don't ever own the infrastructure of these platforms, and they wind up being multi-billion-dollar industries that make a lot of people rich, and then a lot of people get left in the dust. And so Fanbase is that brainchild. It was independently funded by myself until the end of 2020. And then I got into something called equity crowdfunding, which what we're doing on Start Engine. And the first 3 rounds we did in equity crowdfunding allowed me to raise $10 million. And then we launched the Regulation A crowdfund, and now we're raising $17 million. And so we're about almost about $4.5 million away from the 17. I think we're about to cross 12 point. I can't remember. I think it's 12.5 million. I don't know. I'm not sure right now, but I want to make sure we're crossing $12.5 million. We're close. But the importance of this is because I wanted people to own the platforms that they use, right? We put all our money, all our energy into all these stuff, and I wanted people to own the platforms and be able to have access to, you know, the IP of social media that we make extremely popular, but really don't have a chance to own at all. So
now, when I summarize and put things in context, right? I've noticed when I speak, people kind of don't listen to me, so I kind of like showing the information out of other people's mouths because people don't think, you know what I'm saying? And this live is what do you love about Fanbase informational. So like I said, this is where we're going over the replays because it not only has other information in it, just good topics, you know. I you know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. You know, I have plenty of videos, you know, where I summarize, where, you know, clips and, you know, I've been doing this 11 years. I have plenty of content and, you know, I think this is a good video, you know, live, that, like I said, it has plenty of good information that comes, not just me just summarizing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I summarize all the time, and, you know, for those who coming in the building, I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for 3 years, and sometimes people think that I'm not an expert when I'm an expert, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't even got paid over here on YouTube. You know, so this is me and everything I do, my TV, my live streams, my movie reviews with different things. The different things that I do is on another platform because I'm not getting the value from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's one person in here, but I'm almost 6,300 people deep over there and 10 subscribers over there on Fanbase. So as much as I summarize, you know what I'm saying? You know, I could summarize it all day and be like, okay, this is my payout. Okay, this would be my payout. You know, and I never got paid off a platform. You know, I could do that all day. I could say, you know, we're streaming this live in the audio room, and people don't tend to listen to me. So I like to give people information because I don't look the way I don't look the way I'm supposed to look, and you know. You know, I don't look the way I'm supposed to look, and I'm not that typical person. So I like to play these so people won't think I'm just talking. You know, I know what I know, and I've been doing this way too long to know that sometimes people need other information. Okay, all right, let's get back into it. And I'm an investor as well. Oh, it's not okay. That's another thing too. We are not a racist app. It's not a racist thing. It's just the fact that the facts are the facts. You know what I'm saying? This app is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And they'll get more into it. That's why that's why I play these videos, because if we listen, you know what I'm saying? That's why I do rooms on my app to where we listen. Let me let me go ahead and play the video, because me talking is
That's
not.
how we got here. And so invested is our take on this current round of what we're doing, but also letting people know about the creator economy and things like that. So, Justin, what do you know about the creator economy?
I'm learning every day. What I do know about the creator economy is that it's transformative to the broader economy. You know, when we think about, particularly in the U.S., and I would say, again, going into global markets, consumption, whether that's food and bev, whether that's fashion, obviously music and other forms of entertainment,
You can import your TikTok and your
Instagram.
Instagram.
Advertised it all. It makes it accessible.
Yeah.
If you got a smartphone in your pocket, you can create short films. You can, you can start a business, right? And I think
Exactly.
and that to me is the most important thing about the creator economy, is that everybody
Click that first link that says
it might be
my fan base investor. Download the app.
if you know how to do it, if you're willing to
Follow me.
And what we're seeing is that not only are the tools being democratized, but also the learning and the education to learn how to use those tools is also being made more accessible and available. So when you put those two things together, I think you create a really, really rich environment for wonderful things to come out of that. And it might be new TV shows, it might be new ways to report on news, it might be new ways to talk about your business, or have the content itself be a business and be a way for you to produce
And I
income,
also
supplement income for your business or for yourself as a person.
Yeah, I think, the moment that
If you-
video got added, and I've said this several times, the
Hold
moment that
up.
video got added to social media, everybody became a television network, right? So once you can take video, because you got followers, right? And so your followers, in essence, are viewers to your content. On other platforms, you might not get all your following to see your content, but, if you have a million people following you, then you have a million viewers who want to see your content, either as you post it or somewhere down the line when they tap back into the platform. And I think that's important, because now that's the quiet part out loud, because now it gives the ability for people to create content with direct-to-consumer monetization on a platform like Fanbase, and then now you are your own Netflix. But not only are you on your own Netflix, you're your own podcast, you're your own short-form video editor, you're your own photographer. All these tools that we give, that we want people to be able to monetize their content and have an opportunity to scale, is what makes Fanbase different from everybody else. We talk about content suppression all the time. We talk about shadow banning. Those things are real. I'm going to cover some of these things, because I say these a lot of times, but understanding that when you're on social media, no one is ever going to see all of your content as you
I'm
post it.
around.
And the reason being is
You're
because
welcome.
advertising is a large part of these current platforms, like TikTok, like Instagram. It's a large part of these platforms. So they can't let you reach 1 million people by posting a photo or a video and then turn around and charge Domino's Pizza to reach 1 million people, because that in turn would say, well, Domino's would just say, man, let's just go to user X's page and hand them a check and be like, yo, put this commercial on your page and you can reach all these people. So that's the importance. That's a big differentiator between us and other platforms, because we're not built off disruptive advertising. We're not built off advertising that limits the viewer from being able to actually, the poster being able to actually, see all their content. And so I think that's extremely important. What I know about the creator economy is something that I think about is inequity. I was having a conversation the other day. This is actually something that we're going to talk about briefly today, because I think this is important. You remember the Renegade dance?
Renegade, yeah.
There's a Renegade big challenge. There's a challenge created by this young black girl named Jalea Harmon. And it got popular on Instagram and TikTok. And
K Camp.
yeah. So from that dance, that challenge.
And this is going to prove
another
their
creator
point
named Charlie D'Amelio
about
did that
monetization.
dance.
I'm playing
Very,
this whole
very popular
video,
on TikTok.
but I'm an investor in the
To
app.
no fault of her own, right? She started receiving brand deals. She started receiving endorsements and endorsement opportunities and stuff like that. And Jalea didn't really get a lot of those opportunities. And what I was explaining to creators and users is that platforms like Instagram and TikTok want to have very famous white creators, right? It has nothing to do with Charlie D'Amelio against Jalea Harmon. That's not it, because all these platforms are the same. You do the challenge, I do the challenge. You do the dance, I do the dance. It's a collective group, fun thing. But
this goes into to being free. This goes into spiritualist, right? Fanbase is definitely one of the platforms that let me continue to show my growth of what I need to do. So you're not off topic. This is what this is about. You know, you're fine. You know, you're not off topic. See, that's another thing that Fanbase is. You can do whatever you want to do and it go together. So yes, I am a spiritual therapist. I do energy and tarot card readings. I didn't start off with my energy readings today because Spirit wanted me to go to this and get this message out for the day. But yes, I do a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's why sometimes I kind of like not talk because I have a lot of content that you know, me speaking unless I need to speak, you know, is important. But yeah.
Works on platforms like TikTok and Instagram are large amounts of views.
I have a company. I am my sister's keeper, LLC. Yeah, you know, Linktree with everything in it. But yeah, I do a lot. I sell Avon. I do a lot.
And so the ability for someone like Charlie D'Amelio to bring millions and millions and hundreds of millions of views because she is white gives more real estate for TikTok and Instagram to run advertising in between, leaving Jalea in the dust to not really get the brand opportunities that most people get. And I was looking the other day, the last time I checked, and I wish I could check right now, and I don't know. Andy, if you could, matter of fact, if you could, Andy's here too. I don't know, you know, Andy's here, the producer. He said, say what's up, Andy, on the microphone real quick so everybody knows.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, Andy said, Andy's an all-camera producer for investors, so you'll be hearing him from time to time, especially when we get to the Q&A section. But I saw the other day that I think Jalea Harmon just like went to college. Like she stopped trying to pursue the content.
See, we could make money in the audio room. Look,
Video is worth
right now
millions of dollars.
Right.
Come on.
I mean, let's have that conversation real quick.
I mean, I think staying in the lane of invested, right? The theme.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that stands out to me about the creator economy is that oftentimes our works, our ideas, our dances, you know, even just our words, or, you know, definitely our music, is used as almost like a seed round. You know.
Yes.
So those not familiar with like investing, like seed rounds are like the first money in when
Right.
you're building a business. And so here she is now worth tens of millions of dollars, all money in, but no return on the creator, no
Correct.
return on the original, the source. And so I think it's, you know, it's messed up for one. I mean, I think the other thing to be mindful of is that you have to be very, very careful about and thoughtful. That might be a better word on where we put our content, knowing these things, right? Like you said, these are attributes of a system. The
Right.
attributes of the system are, our job is to garner eyeballs. Whoever gets us the most eyeballs is who we're going to promote, is who we're going to push and advance. And if the people that if there are more, you know, white eyeballs in the country than black eyeballs in the country, then they're going to push creators that they believe will resonate with that audience, right? Because that's where they're going to get the most eyeballs. It's a numbers game. Do I agree with it? No, but I do understand there's no point in arguing with numbers. So I think it's important to understand that if we're going to put our creativity out there in the world, particularly on these platforms, recognize the game. Like it is what it is. Our options, we have to create options, which is what Isaac has done, which is why I'm a 2-time investor into Fanbase, to be clear. So yes, I'm an investor. I invested in the very first 2 rounds of Fanbase. Very excited.
Thank you.
About that, of course. And the reason for that was
the investment is still open too.
coming out of the pandemic, I realized everybody's eyeballs were fixated on screens.
Yes.
For effectively for 2 years until we started saying we outside.
Right.
We outside. Like everybody was staring at a screen for hours upon hours upon hours. And that's in the world of social media and content and entertainment, frankly, that's money. That translates into dollars. And we saw the rise of other platforms. We saw Versus, come and go, and it's, as much of a cultural moment as much as we can appreciate it. It made a few people rich, not mad at it, but at the end of the day, if we don't have the infrastructure and the resources to support our own flavors of that, we'll continue to lose, some of our best properties and ideas and concepts to other systems and other platforms that do have. And so, investing in fan base and into creators is a way to ensure that the money stays in the creator economy, because we back an amazing creator that comes up with a challenge. He or she makes a bunch of money. Maybe it pays for college. I'm not saying don't go to college. Absolutely go to college. But also there's money to do more things, to produce more content, more shows, and maybe even invest in other creators. So what does it look like to create a circular economy to where we're backing the dopest creators, putting out the best music, the best
Okay,
videos, the best content.
they about to go
They start
over it,
putting
and
their
then
money
I'm about to
into
put the link in the chat again.
The rising stars, the next Casanats or the next whomever's. Like, that to me is the power of this platform, but also the creator economy, is that it can be circular. We can support each other and invest each other and then draw more people into it.
I'm glad you mentioned Casanat, because we're about to segue into a section of this episode that I think is extremely important. What I think important about this is I noticed that there are a lot of famous, popular Black creators, and this conversation we're about to have right now is interesting. I noticed that a lot of the Black creators that are very, very popular are not taking equity ownership positions in some of these companies. And when I started to do research, I started to see that some of these creators are actually taking equity in startups to bring visibility to the app and raise the profile. First of all, I want to start with Charli D'Amelio, because while we started talking about Charli D'Amelio, have you heard of the fintech startup Step? The Step card. It's kind of like a debit card for young people.
Okay.
Charli D'Amelio took equity in that company and helped them raise $300 million by joining the platform and taking an equity position in that company.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the company is worth now, but leveraging that. I was looking at something else interesting too. There is a company called Poppy. I don't know if you remember this. And Poppy is a soft drink.
Yep.
And Pepsi.
So I will be going over investing, and then we have, this is like our investor town hall informational live. So this live is telling you about Fanbase, giving you information about Fanbase and investing. And then about 5 o'clock, I'm going to stream our tech talk with our CTO, Ramiro, who goes over the new features and new things that's happening, the new things. So I'll be streaming that right after this. We'll be going into that. Again, this live is designed for informational. Feel free to drop them questions in the chat when y'all come in. There's information always at the chat at the beginning. But yes. All right, let's go.
Bought Poppy in March of this year for $1.95 billion.
Yep.
Right? And what's crazy about that is that Alex Earl's equity stake in Poppy could be around 1 to 3%. And that 1 to 3% equity position in that platform could pay her out anywhere between $19.5 million or closer to $39 to $58 million. What do we got to say about that? Why are we not taking equity? Why are we so into the cash up front type of situation and not the equity?
Understanding the value and what equity means in a broader sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we hear the word equity, we hear it anecdotally. There's not a lot of financial literacy or content being generated around what it means to be a shareholder. Yeah, that's what equity means, and to own those shares. I think the other thing too is that oftentimes, depending on the background of the creator or the entrepreneur, that's going to help shape their understanding of cash and how they operate their lives. Mm-hmm. That's a big driver too. If you're looking to live a particular lifestyle, or you already have a particular lifestyle, you're going to work to maintain that lifestyle. And so you're going to prioritize cash in the bank because that's what's ultimately helping you achieve your short-term goals. So it's a mind shift, it's a mind shift that we have to make around short-term goals versus long-term goals. And I think because certain people groups, certain individuals have been so much in the immediate gratification, my short-term goals, I need to go on this trip, I need to buy this car, buy this house. They're not thinking about 5, 6, 7 years from now, but they've never had the opportunity to think about that far into the future to where you start to see those kinds of outcomes. So,
honestly, I actually don't even think that some of those companies even offer equity to Black creators. It's almost like they wouldn't give it to them.
No.
You know what I mean? No. Like I saw Aiden Ross owns a part of Kick.
Yeah.
Right? But I see that Academics is on Rumble. I see Castanadas on Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't see them trying to cough up any equity positions in those companies. Plus, something like Kick is already part of Amazon, publicly traded company. But
immediate gratification.
Do you think that there's an opportunity being missed? Because I know I've heard of Bryce Hall. I think Bryce Hall had actually some equity in Poppy. I know, like I said, Aiden Ross. I know. I think it's Emma Chamberlain. I think she was part of another audio chat startup that got acquired.
Yeah.
It's just when we see these exits and it's like,
yeah.
Why? Like for me, what I find interesting about Fanbase is it's kind of, and I position Fanbase in that position to say, man, the ability for a creator, for someone to come on board and take an equity position, even if they invest, because some of these people actually invest in the company. It's not given to them. They actually take the money and write checks themselves and invest in the startup,
right,
and be part of the startup.
Right.
And then they say, you know what, I'm going to use my leverage
right,
to scale the business and then help it get to the next level of investing, because the challenging part about doing all this is the capital part.
Yes.
The money is important.
Yes.
Been given venture capital that have gone out of business and gotten way more money than Fanbase is given. This is hard. So a lot of times, like, man, you guys have raised $22 million. I'm like, yeah, but I know companies that have raised $300 million, $40 million, $35 million, and they went belly up in a year and a half.
Yeah, people don't understand the talent and the infrastructure costs to build a platform that can support tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people consuming and uploading and all those things. So there are cost implications. But I think one of the things that we haven't spent enough time on is understanding again, going back to equity, right? Sometimes there might be an offer on the table, but we hear such a low number, 1% or 0.5%. But you got to understand that that's 1% or 0.5% or 2% of a growing pie. Right, so when you asked me earlier about the creator economy, what I do know is that, just to give an example on a global scale, in the next 10 years, we're going to add 2 billion more people to the internet. They're going to have access to the internet. They're going to have access to apps. A large swath of that is going to come from Africa, right? It's people that are Black and brown people that look like us. If we're not building infrastructure for when those people come online, think about the massive economic opportunity that we're missing out. Again, the pie is growing. That's 1.5 to 2 billion more eyeballs to consume content over the next 10 years. So you think about 1% or 2%, you hear that today, like, oh, that ain't enough. I'm not gonna take that equity deal for that little fledgling company. But you gotta remember that they're building a company in an industry that is growing and set to grow exponentially when most markets aren't growing. Every market doesn't grow like the creator slash consumption market.
Let me look at this camera real quick too. Another thing that I want to say that I think is important is that I understand when people say, look, I want equity in a company, but it's only so big a soft drink company can get, right? It's only so big a tennis shoe company can get. But Roger Federer took 3% in a shoe company and made more money off that than all the Grand Slam titles he ever put together. Yeah. And so I think there is an education that we need, something that we need to operate and understand about how we're going to monetize and own all this content and create, and own these industries and these infrastructures, because without it, I mean, we cash rich but equity poor.
Can I give you another quick story?
Yeah.
So Steph Curry was just recently on I don't remember what podcast it was, so excuse me on that, but he was talking about the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, which is basically the relationship, it's the contract between the players, the Players Association and the league. Those are two different entities. And one of the things he was talking about was, if one thing that he could shift or change was giving players the opportunity to have equity.
They said it was like he couldn't do it or something. It was illegal.
You can't do it. You can't do it until you're not playing anymore.
Right.
Think about that. You're in your prime.
Yeah, because he said Golden State wasn't worth what it was.
It's what it was worth when he was drafted. It was worth $450 million. And now it's the most expensive franchise, only behind the Yankees at $9 billion.
That's crazy. And he had a part to do with that.
He had the whole part.
The whole part to do it.
To do with
3-pointers is what.
3-pointers, championships, the way that he plays, the way he opened the game up and showed that a sick.
Welcome. We are live, streaming live fan base. Make sure you join the camp. Make sure you join the camp. Make sure you follow me. We are going over the Invest. First episode in about 5 o'clock. We will be going over to Tech Talk with our CTO, Ramira. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Fan base, as y'all coming in, fan base. Make sure y'all hit that love. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Let's continue streaming live on fan base and YouTube.
6'2" guard, out of Davidson College that know how to shoot the ball, can drive value and win championships. And he doesn't get to eat any of that. So when we look at the contracts, which is a great contract, right? He's going to $50 million a year. But the reality is, imagine if he was able to get 1%, 2% of the team when he got drafted, 0.5% when he got drafted, what that would be worth today.
Yeah, because he made Golden State the franchise that it is.
I mean, it's simple math. I mean, a $4.5 million investment when he got drafted would be, be worth almost $190 million. Jeez. If I'm doing my math, doing it in my head. So think about that. Now, he made a bunch of money playing.
Yeah.
But imagine I took something from 0 or lower to higher. Again, growing pie. Pie was smaller.
Yeah.
The pie has grown. The NBA is more popular. It's been popularized international. We got teams from Sudan coming in to play ball.
Yeah.
The Olympics also highlight NBA players every 4 years.
100%.
Again, equity. As the pie grows, the question becomes, what slice of that do you own? Don't focus on how big the slice is. Have a slice.
Yeah.
Because if
I love my slice of pie. I ain't even gonna love you. I love fan base. I ain't even gonna hold you.
That to me is
Coming from where I come from, my slice of pie gonna feed me very well. Thank you, fan base.
Even though they're creating a different type, they're entertainers. They're entertainers. They're on the court, shoot the ball, pass the ball, dribble the ball, etc. The whole purpose is to increase the value of the team, the brand over the team, the league, and the game of basketball. And imagine if you had equity. Goes back to the same thing with turntables. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same play over. It's the same play over and over again. Let me think. I know that I want to touch on this subject. It's a touchy subject, but it has to do with ownership and equity and who owns these apps. Are you familiar with the T app?
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
Let's talk about the T app. So I have been hearing about this app for, honestly, to be honest, I have not been hearing about this app at all. In maybe the last month.
No, last week for me.
I've been hearing about this app, the T app. It's an app that's designed to protect women from, I guess, bad actors, men out there that have done things And you know, and that in itself is a little questionable because people can get up there and say anything they want to say about you.
100%.
But like, man, he don't pay his child support or whatever. Everybody can say anything they want to say. But one of the things that I noticed, two things, is that the black culture was really on this app. And when it was called the T app, I'm like, okay, so somebody, because there have been these groups on the internet, these Facebook groups and TikTok groups, and I said, well, somebody just went and made an app.
Yeah.
And did that, and if you look at the marketing of the product, it's heavily African American. Get the T on who you're dating, our vernacular. I looked at the visuals. There's a lot of black men featured on there, and everybody's doing this. Download the app to make it number one on the App Store. Number one on the App Store. Come to find out,
Oh yeah.
it's owned by a guy named Sean Cook, who is not black. And
So far from black today.
so far from black, it's whatever. So the importance of that is that our culture is used to increase the value of assets
Yes.
that we don't own.
Yes.
So whenever we find something catchy or trendy, we move without actually realizing, like, who am I? Who is this benefiting? Who is this? Who's on the back end of this? Because that's what I was telling people about Tubi for the longest time. I was like, yo, y'all, Fox owns Tubi, guys. Like, Fox Corporation owns Tubi, and Tubi went right ahead and switched their logo, and switched all their programming around, and now they got a real nice, clean cut programming, and have left the African American community out of the picture primarily on those platforms. So what do you think about this new situation? Because with the TF, because I heard there was a big data leak. I know you know a lot about data. So what does that mean though? So because they said all the driver's license information of like 75,000 women got leaked online. What does that mean?
So I think first of all, there's a lot of problems with that.
Okay.
The idea of it, tech of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get into leaks. I'll give you my reaction to T, and then I'll tell you what the data leaks and stuff mean.
Okay.
Good day.
My
I will be continuing.
initial
There's
reaction
more
to
information, but thank you for stopping by.
I'll say it, man, so I won't use explicit words, but I will say that I was like, oh, this is just once again appropriation of our vernacular and the way that we talk to each other and when we interact with each other. And I was like, I already knew what it was as soon as I saw it, because I think one of the things that we often don't think about a lot is how we've traded community for capitalism. I think they can go together. I think that there's a better relationship between community and capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
and that to me just screamed, I'm going to leverage your community to make
Be rich, right?
And I was just like,
And simultaneously, it's kind of pitting black men and black women against one another.
yeah, is it there aren't enough terrible podcasts?
If there's not enough red pill bro podcasts already,
Man.
this is really like making the situation worse.
And I think a part of it was kind of a reaction to give women voice in a scenario where they may have not felt like there was enough perspective or insight.
Yeah.
I think the challenge is there's zero grace in that, and I'm saying that as a saved man. Like, there's zero grace. If you got an 850 credit score, it wasn't always 850.
Right.
You missed a payment or two. Whether you forgot, whether you weren't making the money, but you need time. Those kinds of tools, particularly T and other tools like that, are completely exploitative, and they actually are harmful because it really doesn't give room for people to grow. I know women who have gone, and men that have gone on to be very successful in their relationships, very successful in their businesses. I knew them from college too. Right?
I knew the old you.
I know that, and if I didn't, first of all, understand that I was in college, and every decision I made in college, I'm not proud of.
Right.
But I wasn't able and given room to grow and be a different person and make different choices and decisions.
Right.
How do we ever have community again? Like, how do we get back to supporting and true love? Like, that is the harm. And I don't think that we really grasp that, because we have decided that I would rather have the information
Mm-hmm.
than not, even if it is to the detriment of our people. and I use this word very, very intentionally, our community. And so that's the harm. I also think from a data standpoint, data leaks are bad. Basically, it means that something was compromised in some way as it relates to the stored information and data that a system or platform would collect.
Correct.
In this case, for some reason, they collected driver's licenses from people. Okay, whatever. A lot of what we call PII or personally identifiable information that leaks out. It ends up on the dark web, and people can use that to exploit, to do all kinds of things, open up credit lines, all kinds of malicious things. But that is the other side. That is another component of the harm. So not only do you have information out there about that might be slanderous, or defaming, which is against the law. Like, you don't know if it's true, but because I saw it on this app, I'm going to believe it. That's reputational harm. It's harmful. But then also, if you give your information to receive that info and then it gets leaked, where's the redeeming quality in that? Well, you put your info on that app to learn something about a dude. Okay.
Yeah, to put his information out there.
Right. And so now your information out there being exploited, how do you anticipate that I'll respond? Again, it's a deterioration of community, because it's like, yeah, you can make a mistake, but like, who did you vote for here? You know what I'm saying? It's the equivalent. It's like, so you went on that app, you know what it's about. You know it's more than just, oh, I want to get the tea on this dude. You know it's exploitation of community. Yeah. Like, you know that. And then you get a data leak or data breach, and now all of a sudden it's like, you want me to feel bad for you? Like, you really want me to feel bad for her? Like, that's going to, again, further dissension in the discourse. Like, we're going to disagree more and more and more. And it's just harmful all around. It made me sick. Like, literally, it made me sick.
So I heard about Sean Cook. I think he came from I feel like he used to work at Salesforce, I think. He came from Salesforce. He decided to make this app. I think it was like towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
Threw it up there.
Stop inviting people to the cookout.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
But here's the thing. They're not even, we're not, it's not, this is the thing. It's not inviting people to the cookout, right? Let me, this ain't inviting people to the cookout. This is people coming to the cookout dressed as us in costume.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming into they're sneaking into the cookout like, yeah, I got my blackface on. Like, I'm in here.
Sure.
To really, do these things, and before you know it, it's like, oh, it's not. And then,
if I think what you're saying, Isaac, and I agree, is like, if we get online in the comment section, we use terminology. It's almost, remember Genius? Genius.com?
This is my first time even dealing with the T-app. I don't, last week or so, I'm really not, like I said, I stick to myself. I'm positive vibe, positive energy, but hey.
None of those. And the whole purpose for Rap Genius, it seems like an innocent idea, right? It's
right.
I like rap music, but I don't necessarily know what all the lyrics mean. And so it was annotation of rap lyrics. You go on there, click on the lyrics.
Make sure y'all download Fanbase. We're getting ready to go over to Tech Talk at 5.
So that's what they're now able to do at scale. That's what AI and machine learning and all these technologies allow you to do, is to take all of our comments, all the things, even the
all of our slang,
the things we saying on podcasts. Remember, we already have so many podcasts talking about, you called it perfect, like the Red Pill,
Passport Bros
talking about, they take all that content, feed it into the models, and then from that they're able to decipher certain things about our culture, our communities, the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's easiest to monetize though? The bad stuff.
Yeah.
And this is an example of
monetizing conflict.
100%. Yeah. So this was a perfect example of, there's a term out there called T.
Mm-hmm.
It means this. What's going on in this community? Oh, give me the 411.
They beefing?
They beefing?
Let's make it happen, make it more beef. I wonder who's on the cap table of that company. So that's the thing about it. I don't know if you guys can look, anybody wants to know, like, who's on the cap table of T. Try to figure that one out. I don't know who's on the cap table of T at, but that would be pretty interesting to find out.
And there's been, as a real quick, there's been versions of this.
Yeah.
Like Facebook groups and stuff.
Yeah.
That preceded this, and they, like, to your point, they just took those ideas and then literally created their own company.
Because somebody probably black made those pages, and they said, "Oh, okay, so that's what you guys want to do."
Look at all the eyeballs. Look at all the members. Look at all the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, I can turn that.
I can turn this into a business.
Remember,
off of them.
Remember, we're talking about the business of eyeballs.
Yeah.
When we talk about creators, we're actually talking about viewers.
100%.
So consumers of that content, and so it's like trending topics. It's like if you could build an app back when Twitter was Twitter,
Yeah.
and not whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was the trending topic was the thing. Imagine if you created an app around the trending topics. That's essentially what that is.
Absolutely. We're a little over midway point through the podcast right now. You're listening to Invested, a fan-based podcast about the creator economy, but actually investing in fan base. I want to let everybody know if you have it, you can go to startengine.com/fanbase right now to invest in fan base. We have over 29,000 investors.
Wow.
It's like 29,000 investors that are invested in fan base.
That's incredible.
To have equity in the company. Some of this stuff that I'm doing, I don't know. So for full transparency, Justin is a mentor to me. And I want to talk directly that this is important because a couple things. I didn't know anything really about the tech space. I met Justin at the gathering spot. Shout out Ryan, TK. And I bothered him and Jewel and Barry for all this information on what it is to go into the tech industry. I found their insight very, very valuable, and I wanted to be a student without question, right? And I think this is important to creators, to investors, anybody building a business. In that process, and I've had to call him before in front of other people, and I said, Justin, like everything y'all told me to do, did I do everything y'all said? And I ain't questioned nothing. If you said the CTO got to own a percentage of the company, I made sure that happens. If you say you got to incorporate in Delaware, if you say you have to have an MVP, if you say you have to have a deck, if you say all these, you might have to bootstrap, like I didn't question nothing they said because they know more than I do. And I think that's a real huge part of fan bases, that early success that we have, because you don't know anything. You're going into these spaces and sometimes you want to help creators, you want to help people, but as soon as you tell them something, they're like, yeah, but I don't really know it. I'm like, that's not how it has to work. And so coming into this space, another thing that I learned about getting into the tech space is that a lot of times the venture capital game can be a little.
Like I said, this is the best podcast, the Audio Room. This will be streamed live on the Audio Room on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. Episodes will premiere the next day. So definitely want to download Fanbase, but definitely, for me, again, someone was in here and they, made a comment about, me speaking more on it. Sometimes, it take other people for people to listen. So again, thank y'all. We're gonna finish this, and then again we're going to stream the Tech Hall link. I will be putting the link to the Audio Room in the chat as well, so you guys can tune in directly from Fanbase. But let's continue.
Cutthroat. But I'm coming from the music business, so I understood that the venture capital game and the music game kind of can be similar. And so I've met founders. I've heard stories even to this day still about founders that got voted out of their companies. They lost the rights to their companies. They got kicked out. Some from people in the music business that came into the company like, yeah, boo, get you up out of there. Even the legendary Steve Jobs at one point was voted out of Apple. So I came into this whole tech space with this anxiety and paranoia, like, man, ain't nobody gonna steal this from me. I gotta incorporate. I gotta create 2 classes of stock. I gotta make sure that the vision that I have for the company that I want to build can go as far as I need it to go. Because you gotta understand that sometimes VCs look at your startup as a flip, like a house. So if I can come in and give you $500,000 and walk out with $2 million, hey, it's time to go, right? But you might have a vision for your company that goes beyond that 4X vision. You might have a 40X vision or a 400X vision or 4,000x vision. I even remember at one point, Yahoo offered to buy Facebook for $1 billion. And they were all telling Mark Zuckerberg to sell, right? They were telling Mark Zuckerberg, you need to sell Facebook for $1 billion. It's a great deal, Yahoo, sell it. The fact that Mark Zuckerberg had control of his company allowed him to decline that offer. Right. And now Meta is a $1.7 trillion company, right? And that is the thing that in this process of building Fanbase and the story of creating this company and allowing people to invest in it, because I have a broader vision. I understand that collectively our culture plus infrastructure gives us a path forward that we've never had before, ever in life. We've never had the ability to own the infrastructure and be the culture on a platform at the same time. We've never had it in sports. We've never had it in music. We've never had it in TV and film, but all three of those industries require large amounts of capital to get into. Millions and millions of dollars to build sets and build stadiums, build record companies and mass produce CDs and records. But tech, it's digital. It's an infrastructure that we can scale infinitely globally, and our culture powers it. And so that is the reason why I think it's so important that we invest in Fanbase, because it's a vehicle that every single person that invests or has reach or has influence has the ability to go online and tell other people to join the platform and tell other people to invest. And so in building all these things, I was just oblivious to the fact that we've made a lot of progress in ways that a lot of people haven't. So when I tell like investors, like, I raised $22 million, they look at me like, bro, in equity crowdfunding? Right. Bro, you know what you gotta do to do that? And I give the credit. Here's the thing that I give the credit to. I give the credit first and foremost to the actual product. I give the credit to Fanbase as a product. I know that people say they're investing in the founder, but I would not have been able to raise the money for Fanbase with a whole bunch of images of an app on PDFs. And Justin and Julian Berry taught me that you got to take it past the PDF phase into a minimum viable product that people can see and touch and is tangible, that allows users to invest. So even if you're on the platform right now, and those that are listening to the podcast right now, we are actually live on Fanbase in an audio chat room doing a watch party, which is actually the video version of this is actually being displayed live right now. So that's where I understand like how challenging all this stuff is and how important it is for us to be able to scale these businesses using our culture and to do cool stuff like this, because we have great ideas. We have great ideas for music and I mean all the things that we do on these platforms. I remember retweets. I remember when black people were saying RT at the end of Twitter. I remember when we wanted DMs on Instagram because we trying to holler like, yo, I'm trying to get it to girl on the app that's really pretty, whatever. I remember all of these things. And so honestly, like an app is like what do we call a focus group for innovation. And black people come in there and innovate the heck out of it. But again, we don't own none of it. So I'm stressing that on this first episode because we complain every single day about the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Clubhouses, the Twitches, the Facebooks, the Snapchats, all these platforms, and we were like, yo, we ain't got, but man, well then fine. That's why we have to build our own and scale our own businesses. And so to people that appreciate and respect youth culture and black culture, right? As well as, so because it doesn't matter what race you are, you can be anywhere on the planet and say, yo, black people know what they're talking about. Matter of fact, there's an interesting stat that from an advertising perspective, consumers trust the word of black people more than anybody else on things to buy, wear, products to use, all these things. That is crazy to me. So my point is like, our opinion matters in a way that's like, yo, if they say it's cool, then I'm rocking with it. And we do that on social media all the time, so I think that's important. Andy, do we have any questions in the chat? I know we got some questions in the chat. Shout out to Andy, everybody. You can't see Andy, but Andy's here.
First question somebody asked, do you plan on doing anything about fake accounts under Isaac's name baiting people to WhatsApp?
Oh man, let me talk about this. So I'll tell you this. When it comes to investing in Fanbase, there are only two ways that you will ever be able to invest in Fanbase, and that is through Start Engine, right? Right, that's the first one, or going to invest.fanbase.app on the Fanbase website to invest. You will never see me ask you to cash at me, Venmo me. I can help you get into crypto, all these things. Plus, that's what verification badges are for. I'm verified on Fanbase. So if anybody's reaching out to you on Fanbase or on Instagram that isn't verified, I think I'm verified on Twitter, like, check for the verification, because verification matters in this new era of AI and all these things, faking voices, faking images, all these things. So those are the only two ways that you can invest in Fanbase is startengine.com/fanbase or invest.fanbase.app. What else we got?
Someone said, what are your plans for this podcast?
So this is a limited podcast. I think that, this came about from a conversation Ramiro and I had last week. And it was really more along the lines of we were doing an audio room every week about the raise. And we were talking about that. But last week it was very conversational. We even filmed it in the office, and it was like, yo, this feels like a podcast. And so I said, well, we need to do that because I know we have a lot of people that come to the audio rooms every week, but let's take this message broader outside of the app into content that can live on other places where people can hear about Fanbase, hear about our progress, hear about investing, things like that, and be part of that whole situation. We will be, taking necessary steps to make sure that there aren't any fake accounts going on Fanbase and stuff like that.
Can I share something too about even this experience?
Yeah, go ahead.
What I love about this, what you just shared with Romero, and is the speed. You observed something, made a decision quickly, and now here you are a week later with a podcast.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say that like that right there is actually what I invested in, right? Like I invested in Isaac. I believe he can pull this off. Yes, I love the product, and I also know the product's going to change, right? It just does. Over here, when Instagram launched, it was photos with filters,
right?
That was it. Now it's the whole ecosystem of features and different products. So the ability to observe, read the tea leaves, as they say, unintended, and then be able to say, you know what, let's just try. Let's get the lights. Let's get the cameras. Let's, and you text me. You called me last night?
Yeah.
Called me last night, like, pull up. And I'm like, yeah. And that was one of the reasons I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it work. It's because I appreciate you take the feedback. Reminds me of what's going on with Red Lobster. CEO Red Lobster.
Oh, he's doing his thing.
I love it. And he was like, yeah, so we saw what y'all had to say. And a week, 2 weeks later, we're giving y'all flavors. Here you go.
Yeah, the crab boil. We got spicy crab boils and all that. Yeah,
like that ain't quick. That's that rapid innovation. That's what I love, and like that's what I'm invested in. I'm invested in making decisions quickly, learning, and then grace. I think that's the other thing too that's oftentimes missing from the conversation is like the reason we have to raise money and the amounts of money is so that we have room for error. Like, okay, we went left, we should have went right. Let's course correct, and not have everything be the business got to shut down. The platform gone.
Yeah.
So that's another reason for the resources is to give time for experimentation to figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm big on the ideation. One thing that I will say, and I try to explain to people sometimes, is the amount of capital it takes to scale and grow businesses. Because a lot of times, we get heat. People be like, yo, what's going on with the app? How come it doesn't have carousels? And I'm like, guys, you guys knew how, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'm committed to it. I'm here 7 days a week, almost, pretty much,
That's
and any time, I'm saying you can, I'm really working on this at all times because I believe in it so much. And I'm really thankful for the community that exists on Fanbase. We have over 1.4 million users. Our MAU fluctuates between 200, 300,000, 350,000. We have a goal of getting to 1 million MAU by the end of next year. We're working on a brand new algorithm. I hired some algorithm whisperers. Like, yo, I need this thing. I need that TikTok algorithm. You know what I'm saying? I need that. We learned a lot. We learned a lot from the TikTok 12-hour shutdown. We learned a lot.
Right.
You know, it taught us a lot. I'm glad it was only down for 12 hours. Because if it was down for longer, we would have missed on more opportunity. It gave us an opportunity to, like, how volume comes into a platform, what people are looking for, the things that they want. We were really prepared, but we couldn't be prepared for something so massive going down.
Right.
I'm a little interested in what's going to happen with this new platform. I think that they're launching. I don't know if you've heard anything about them supposed to be launching a U.S. version of TikTok. To move everybody over to the platform to sunset. And what I say about that is, and this is something that I would say, I'm making no guarantees, but I know that I don't think TikTok has 170 million users. I know 170 million people are not going to leave that one TikTok app and go to the new app. Some will be like, I ain't leaving. And there'll be opportunity to pick up users, you know, and get people on board and have people to become part of the platform. And I think this is a real opportunity for Fanbase to take advantage of that. So even when you're thinking about a time to invest or the opportunity to scale a business, think about that, because there's a real opportunity coming up if this new TikTok comes about. I don't think 170 million people just leave and be like, yeah, we going over to what's the name. I don't see that. Let's see.
Someone asked, without giving away the sauce, how many features does Fanbase plan to have launched that other apps don't have?
I can't really say what features we plan to have. I think that we have a lot of great ideas, but it's also the timing of those ideas, if they make sense, because you got to have a little bit of discipline. Like what we're focused on right now for the remainder of this year and pretty much going into all of 2026 is retention. So retention is not very sexy. Retention might not be the bells and whistles or the things that really matter most to you. Retention is what keeps people coming to Fanbase and staying in the app longer and longer and longer. But having a positive experience, not something that's designed to kind of like suck you down a rabbit hole or whatever like that. But what makes the app really, really fun? I think apps are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be cool. They're supposed to be energetic. And so what keeps people really engaged in the platform and learning from those things and finding that recipe for retention? Because once you find that recipe for retention, it's rinse and repeat. It's a formula. At that point, I had an opportunity to talk to, I'm not gonna say his name, but I had an opportunity to one of the individuals that was the head of growth at Instagram. And he was like, he gave me and Ramiro some game. He was like, look, man, if you get 33% retention, that's incredible. That means if 100,000 people download your app and a month later you got 33,000 of those people, you did great. You're doing an amazing job. And so that was really important for us, because once that happens, you get to build on that. You get 100,000, you keep 30. You get another 100,000, you keep 30. Right. You keep building upon that back and over cycle, and a flywheel of growth, and then that creates that community that starts to increase revenue and engagement and all these things. And algorithms have a lot to do with that. So I'm really, really excited about that. Are there any more questions, Andy?
Real quick too to that. One of the things that I really appreciate about that question, but also your answer, was that was another thing that you immediately responded to. We sat down and you're like, what's next? And I would just, we're talking shop, and I was like, you need product people in here. You need someone to own the product so you continue to build the company. And you like immediately, it was almost like I blinked and you're like, I got candidates and I just hired. And I was like, when did you do that? Yeah. Because I remember asking, like, how can I be helpful? What you looking for? Yeah. And how, we had a great conversation. And I look up, and less than 60 days later, you're like, yeah, I got this person and this person. And I got two advisors. And I got two advisors that were former Meta employees in Snapchat. Yeah. So that's just a testament to you being responsive to the needs of the community, but also the needs of your business and taking action quickly. Because you could have drug it out, you could have stretched it out, but no, I gave you a little bit of insight. You went and got additional advisors, and the talent you brought on, bro, is like top tier talent. And I was like, oh, he's serious.
I'll be listening. Everybody, people, like some people say, man, does he listen? I'm like, you listen. You don't. The job for me is always to put smarter people around me. I'm a vision. I'm the visionary. The visionary is like, okay, this is what I want. The way this office look, that's vision. The color scheme, the F. I want people to have fun. The details, the people that really do this every single day for a living, like I have to put trust in those individuals to make sure that they have the freedom to build and create what we need to create. Because I don't know nothing about coding and all that. I'm not a technical founder, as they say, but my dad didn't know how to play a violin, but he knew what he wanted to hear. And so that's what visionaries do. And so I'm proud to be able to do that, but I'm very, very fortunate enough to be surrounded by a great team, a great development team, all those things. I briefly want to tell people the process of investing in Fanbase, because we get a lot of questions about like, well, how long is the raise open? So how long is the raise open? The raise is open until we reach our $17 million goal. Once that happens, you can no longer invest in Fanbase. So I tell people to invest sooner than later, right? Another question we get is, how many times can you invest? If you've invested in previous rounds, you can invest again. We've had people invest in all 4 rounds of Fanbase and buy shares and become part of the company. The process of investing in Fanbase is this. These raises are held on platforms that are regulated by the SEC. So Fanbase is not the entity raising the capital. Start Engine is. So Start Engine is where you would go to invest in Fanbase. You would create a Start Engine account. Once you create a Start Engine account, think of that account as your wallet, your portfolio of where your Fanbase stock will be. If you ever want to know what's going on with your Fanbase stock, check your Start Engine account. You can email us and we can reach out and kind of pull those things together. But Start Engine is your source, right? Where you always do that. Once you invest in Fanbase, that money goes into escrow. That means that we don't have it and you don't have it. And a regulatory background check happens. Once that regulatory background check happens, because sometimes people try to launder money through these raises, you will get a request to confirm your investment. That's very important, because if you don't confirm your investment, your money will get returned to you. You won't be invested, and you'll think you'll be invested in Fanbase, and you won't be invested in Fanbase. And so we think that's very, very important, because sometimes people be like, yeah, I invested. I'm like, but I didn't get anything. And like, oh man, I never confirmed my investment, and they sent their money back. So once that happens, you will then be invested in Fanbase and actually have equity in the company. That's important, because you got to follow all those steps, and we want to make sure that people understand explicitly how to be able to invest in the company. Again, we are probably less than, I think, 20-something% in closing this round. I'm excited to be able to do this podcast and have everybody that's on board, everybody that's stayed into the audio room this entire platform, this entire time. I'm sorry that we've been there. Shout out to the Fanbase community. Shout out to Sil, who's in the audio, in the chat room on Fanbase. And so, handling this and making sure that we get everything we do. Andy, are there any more questions left before we go?
Yes, there's a question. Someone said, can you go more in depth on what you expect will happen with TikTok and how that will affect Fanbase?
You're talking about the upcoming TikTok ban?
The upcoming TikTok.
So, well, what I'm thinking is that, and again, this is all speculation and me guessing, but what's been kind of reported online is that TikTok will be launching a US version of the app that's going to aggravate people that are very, very comfortable on those apps. The one thing that I want to make sure that we have very ready for another potential TikTok migration is our algorithm. And we had to learn a lot about algorithms, because algorithms are expensive. You have to tag so much data. Tell people, like, we had this just real quick. Tell people about, like, we had a conversation about how algorithms work. You got to tag them. So explain how all that works real quick to people that may not know.
Yeah. So this will be quick and dirty, but hopefully helpful and insightful to people. So algorithms are a set of kind of rules, right? Parameters, logic, if you will, and it's math. And so the idea is you feed data into the algorithm, and the algorithm manipulates that. Think about a search engine, right? So a search engine, as an example, takes all these web pages, and then using an algorithm, it scans all of the text, and then from that, it will say the algorithm will determine which piece of content, which web page is most relevant to certain search phrases or terms. So for instance, if you are on, say, Google and you search barbecue restaurants near me, right? The barbecue restaurants and near me are two different things. Near me implies location, and barbecue and restaurant implies a physical place and space. There's an algorithm, basically math, but basically a logical function that will determine and give weights to those two things, and then it will use the data. It will then take that and apply it to the database to surface responses or answers to that math equation. So in order to do that with social media content, remember, most of social media content is images and video. So you have to find scalable ways to categorize that content. It's one thing to say a web page that has text or even a comment section, but what if it's all audio? What if it's all video? What if it's just a picture? So you have to go through the process of analyzing the content, tagging it so that when an algorithm searches for it, it knows it's found something that's.
All right. Invest. This is the investment link right here. Investment link. We are getting ready to go over to our tech talk with our CTO. We are at 12.9 raised. Okay. On the playback, way back. This is the different rewards tiers. Okay. Fan base in the news. Okay, so these are the different home for entrepreneurs. Okay. Okay. Also, if you are a business or an organization and you want to partner with Fanbase, definitely click the link in the bio. I'm definitely gonna put this information that's available in my link tree. Okay, this is available in my link tree. Let's see. Okay, fan base partnership program. Okay. So that's that. Let's get ready to so, if you enjoy this content, please make sure you hit that subscribe. Sometimes these will be put over on the on my fan base page. Oh my god, phone getting the flow, man. Okay, waiting for the room to come open. Again. Let's pull some energy while we're waiting. Let's pull some tarot energy while we're waiting. If you're new, it's positive vibes, positive energy. Queen of Wands. The Moon. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's too funny. Got too much sauce. Hey, got too much sauce. And a Chariot. So something going down, coming in fast, coming in hot on a late night. On a late night. On late night. Quick little message. Ooh, some big money coming in fast. Okay, coming in at nighttime. No need to be in your head, cause some money coming in at nighttime. Coming in fast. Ooh. Unexpected income and despair. So we got unexpected income and we got sudden wealth. And they got people all in their head and their thoughts. But that's all right. That's all right. Because your time is now. I keep telling people. Fanbase. This is why y'all need to download Fanbase. This is why y'all need to, import your TikTok and Instagram. Look, got people in despair that your money coming in. You know what I'm saying? For the first time in a long time, you have not been what? You have not been poor. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody went to a love affair. Okay, what's going on? Ooh, child. Oh. Yeah, somebody want to come in and apologize about being in a love affair with somebody else. And all in their head. Yeah, what's good? Yeah, they longer for you. Because you got that money coming in. You prosperous. You balanced. You know what I'm saying? You mentally stable. You mentally sane. You know what I'm saying? And that's got people in their head, but that ain't got nothing to do with you because you doing what you need to do. Yeah, they gonna come in and talk about they was under a love spell. And how they was feeling like a jackass. Oof. Yeah. And how much they really do got feelings for you. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Let's get true intentions. Like I said, this is a quick message. Because like I said, I got to do what God tell me to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unsolicited advice. And they ain't listening to bad advice no more. Bet you that. They realized they was listening to some bad advice. They sure was listening to some bad advice. They like, They was listening to some, not listening to people. Yeah, they coming in friendly to apologize. And telling you how much they love you. But, let's see. And see, this is go to show you, YouTube gonna penalize me for showing stuff on my own shit. Yeah, that's crazy, I know. Baby, I do. I apologize. Baby, I do. Spirit, what's going on? You trying to jumble my thoughts set. They coming in being honest. So they being honest about their feelings. They coming in friendly and sweet. And they not listening to nobody else's BS no more. I tell you that. Let's get some love card and just get on. Yeah. They were backstabbed. Love will be calling you. And what else? Kisses and soulmate. Alright, we getting ready for this room to open up. If you like a tarot card reading, click the link in my bio. Come join me on Fanbase. Yes. Yes. What? Y'all play too much, man. Y'all play entirely too much, I swear. I swear. Oh my goodness. So what the heck? Alright. Man, it's hot. It's cooled down a little bit though, y'all. It has. I ain't gonna lie. For a minute, it was hotter than hot. Hot sauce, okay? Can't have no fun over here. They be always striking my account. Cha. waiting for our tech talk to start with our CTO Ramiro. If you're new, I'm Fanbase Ambassador Queen Mo. This is my channel. This is my space. Monica Love TV. Let's go. Let's get it. That's my dog. 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 Yeah, y'all, it's been one of them journeys, them YouTube journeys, them journeys just in general that, you know, your girl been here for a minute. You know, I do what I do, you know what I'm saying? Because I do what I do accordingly. For those who don't know, yeah. But, with being different, it takes a toll on you. You know what I'm saying? And having to figure out the algorithms, having to figure out what's this, what's that, what's this for. You know, the whole nine. It gets crazy. It gets crazy. But that's why I love fan base. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna hold you. That's why I love fan base, because I get to do other things. Be positive, be uplifting, you know what I'm saying? Be, the type of person that I want to be. But, you know. My dog. That's my That's my dog.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have the chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you, without limits.
TikTok is going to be banned January 19th, 2025, and users are going crazy. But no worries, Isaac Hayes III has created a platform that is mind-blowing, okay? It's called Fanbase, and it's super simple, super easy. It's allowing consumers to not only consume content, but actually be able to get paid for creating content. See, in the past, your Facebook, your TikTok, your Snapchats, all those things, we put in a lot of work to build these platforms up, and we weren't able to really see the output when it came to the income. So what Isaac Hayes III has done, he has now created a platform where we can get paid for our fan base. They're calling it the TikTok killer. I'm excited. I created my fan base account, and the first thing that I noticed was that I was able to import all of my information from Instagram or TikTok. So all you do is put a code in your bio, the two applications talk to each other, and it imports over 2,000 videos from your previous platform. So you don't have to worry about starting from scratch. That was my biggest fear was, hey, I'm gonna have to go to this platform, I'm gonna have to start from scratch. That is something I just did not want to do. But enough of me talking about it, let's go ahead and jump into the platform. The website is going to be www.fanbase.app. And right here on the front page it says, be you without limits, right? Fanbase is a free next generation social media app that allows any user to earn money from day one, okay? So I know a lot of people, you have to go out first, build it, and then you can start earning. Here you can start earning on day one. It's available on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Either way is fine. You're able to monetize your content on Fanbase, right? So you're able to do that long form or short form. You can do audio. Remember Clubhouse, we were doing audio conversations? You can do that same thing here. Create exclusive content and earn money. So you can create your subscriptions, you can create that fan base, you can go ahead and build that community the way that you want to. Okay, get paid for any content, right? So it doesn't matter if it's short or long or if it's subscription based, you're gonna get paid for everything. And you can earn and view your earnings in real time. No waiting, no big delays, you can see it in real time, okay? Boost your subscriptions. Subscriptions have become one of the bigger things going into like 2022, 2023, where people are now creating subscription-based content, offering exclusives in your close friends or things like that. I know YouTube even has a subscription thing now. So understand that subscriptions are now a thing, and if you're not doing it and you want to grow online, suggest that you get into the subscription-based platform, something like this, right? So what is love? It's not just a feeling, right? Love on Fanbase has a real-world value of half a penny. Users can use love as a way to express their appreciation for content creators and their remarkable work. So what this looks like is you can buy packs. You can buy a pack of hearts, and let's say you go to your favorite content creator and you want to put some hearts down. You can put 10 hearts, 20 hearts, 30 hearts that you have pre-purchased to be able to show love. All right. Create without limits, right? You can do this however, whatever that looks like. Isaac Hayes has really capitalized on allowing creators to create. Okay. Interact in real time. You can go live. Fanbase puts you in the heart of action. Your creativity comes to life. So you can go live. It allows you to go live. You can see everything that's happening in real time. You're able to see the hearts. You're able to see people sharing with you or buying things from you. You can go exclusive, public, or private, or you can host what's like called a campfire. So maybe something smaller. Okay, it's perfect at home for creators. Okay, what this means is this is a creator's playground. This is exactly what you've been thinking about, wanting, the stuff that we've said before. They are doing it right now with Fanbase, guys. So you can see right here. It's a great app. I love it. I would say go check it out right now. Go ahead and do it for free. You have nothing to lose. And like I told you guys before, you could go ahead and import your whole Instagram or your whole TikTok up to 2,000 posts. So you're not coming in completely brand new. Look, guys, the link to my Fanbase is going to be in the description below. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow back, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
All right, y'all. We gonna get up on out of here. Yeah, we gonna get up on out of here. But yeah. All right, so that's about it for today.